of that combines together to me to make fall. Hi guys, my name is Amber, and for today's video I wanted to do a fall TBR kind of video. So these are all the books that I want to read throughout. I mean, September's kind of over, but we have October and then November. Just like, these are the books that I feel like have fall vibes, that make me want to read them in fall. So just getting straight into it, we have the first book, The Wicked Deep by Shay Earnshaw. And this book is about a long time ago, three women were drowned because they were thought to be witches. So then they just kind of like haunt this town. And in this town, I think every year, the three witches come and take some girls, and then boys like come to save them, I think. And they always end up killing the guys. So like every year they like kill some boys. I'm guessing that's what it sounds like. But then one year, at this point in this book, this new boy comes into town and he doesn't know what's going on or something. And the main girl, Penny, is left with the decision of saving herself or saving this new guy named Beau. That's kind of the gist of what I got from it. Sounds pretty interesting, has fall vibes, has witches. So I'm like, sounds like fall to me, I'm down. The next book I have is The Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I don't really know much about this book other than it has like dark academia vibes, and that just gives me like fall vibes. And also like there's a main character named Alex, and she is chosen, like she goes to Yale and she's chosen as someone to like watch over like these secret societies or something, or sororities, I think. Something like that. And there's like some kind of like paranormal stuff going on, I think. Again, I really don't know much, and I try not to know much going into my books because I really enjoy the whole surprise factor. Just like everyone else, I'm not like different or something. Everybody else, for the most part, likes to do that as well. Yeah, I'm excited. It's pretty hyped up. A lot of people have really enjoyed this book. Also, I'm very sorry for the horrible glare in my glasses. I'm going to try to like stand in a certain position so it won't keep happening. But yeah, there's that. Next book that I was really excited to read this fall is Truly Devious, and it's already like October 5th or 6th right now. And so like already starting into the month, I finished this first book and I really enjoyed it. I'm really excited for the rest of the series and everything. But this first book is about this school, and they only allow like super cool people to go to it, like gifted people, not with like superpowers or anything, just like they have like they're gifted in a certain area or some kind of way, which is with the main character. Her talent was, or her gift, she's like really into murder mysteries and stuff, and she wants to be like an investigator or something. And so that's how she gets into the school, because only like certain people are allowed in. But when the school first started, there was like a murder and a kidnapping of the headmaster's family and one of the students. And so the mystery was kind of solved, but not really. A lot of people think that it's a lie. The person who admitted to committing the crime, they think it wasn't true. So she's really interested in solving this. And then there's also a little mystery going on in present time that she's also solving and she's a part of. I hope I explained that well enough to make you interested in reading this. It's actually so good, and because I've already read it and it's like really good. So this is making me excited for like the rest of these books, because I'm like, fall vibes. This is just so good. The next book I have here is Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. It is really good. I've already started it, and okay, what's it about? It's about this woman named Maggie. And so when she was a kid, her and her family, it was just her and her mom and her dad, moved into this haunted house called like Burberry something. I'm literally in the middle of reading this and I already forgot. Baneberry Hall is what the house or that whole area is called, and it was known to be haunted. It already had like some murders and suicides happened in the house. So it was already like a sketchy house. But her family one night runs out of the house and never goes back to Baneberry Hall. And her dad writes a whole book about it, and she was like 5 or 6 years old, so she doesn't remember it at all. And the thing is, like, the fact that she doesn't remember it at all makes her think like this is all fake, and I feel like she feels like her dad like made up the whole thing just to make a book out of it and get money or something. Yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. Her dad passes away, so she ends up going back to the house, and she inherits the house, and she doesn't really believe that it's haunted or anything, but she's trying to figure out if it is. So she kind of stays there, and she's trying to renovate it and make it better so she could sell it. But also she's trying to figure out if any of the things that stated were in the book are true. And yeah, it just kind of goes from there, and it's pretty interesting right now. I've heard other people's reviews though. I'm kind of scared that they found the beginning like super boring and that they didn't like the ending. So that's kind of scaring me on my experience reading this. But so far, me personally, as I'm reading it right now, I'm like halfway through. I don't find it very boring. But also, I've never read like a thriller before, and I think this is considered a thriller. I've never read a thriller before. This is probably my first, if you would consider it that. And so I don't have knowledge of other books to compare it to. So, but again, I'm personally finding it interesting. Next, we have The Secret's History by Donna Tartt. And this book, I'm going to be 100% honest, I really don't know what this is about. Like, I just get like dark academia vibes from it, and I just feel fall vibes when I look at it and think of it. I'm like, fall, that just makes me think of fall. But I know it's like it's a group of people that go to like a prestigious college or something, and there's like a murder, and I think there's like throughout it we're figuring it out. Like it's going from in the beginning, I've read a little bit of it, and so far from what I got from the beginning, it starts off talking about this murder that just happened, that they admit immediately in the beginning of like the first few pages, they admit that they committed this murder. And then it goes to the past of them meeting and how everything happened and why everything happened, I'm guessing. I'm liking it so far. She's pretty thick though, so we are excited for that. I'm trying to get the audiobook for it so I can go by faster, because I have so many books right now on this list that I'm like, I need to get through these, like, because I want to read all of them. But yeah, that's basically the gist of what I know about this book. So the next book I have is The Night Swim by Megan Golden. And I'm just going to honestly read the first little thing it says, because this is as far as I want to know. I didn't really want to read the rest of it, but it just says, a true crime podcast host covering a controversial trial finds herself drawn deep into a town's dark past and a brutal crime that took place there years before. So, yeah, I don't know, thriller, mystery vibes, and I'm like, okay, fall, I'm gonna read that. Next up, we have Blood and Honey by Shelby Mahurin. And so this is the sequel to the first book, Serpent and Dove. And Serpent and Dove is about a witch in hiding, because in this society, like, witches are horrible. They're like thought of as bad. So like, it's a witch in hiding, and she ends up somehow getting married. It's like what's it called? A forced marriage or something like that, or marriage at convenience. She gets married to this guy. Like, there's this group of men, I forgot what they were called. Yeah, I'm just completely blanking. But these men work together. Like, their sole job is to like protect the church and protect the people from witches and everything. So yeah, she ends up getting stuck marrying one of those guys, and it is pretty funny. It is pretty cute. It's just like, I really enjoyed it. And this just came out, I think, in September. And so yeah, this just gives me fall vibes, so I want to read it. And plus, I'm very excited because I've been waiting for this like for a year. So yeah, there's that. The next book I have is The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness. And I think this is about a town where everyone can hear everyone's thoughts. I don't know, and I guess there's like someone out to try to kill this person, but it's hard because like he's trying to like escape or whatever, but like it's hard because the guy can hear his thoughts, and so he knows like his every move. That's what I think it is. That's what I kind of get from the back, but yeah, sounds pretty interesting, and I'm excited to read it. Next up, I have Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. And so again, not really knowing much about this book, but from what I've heard in other people's videos, it's about this girl and her sister like contacts her family and is like, oh my gosh, I'm scared. Like, I'm scared in my house and I think my husband's trying to kill me. And so for some reason they send out their daughter, the sister, to go help her out. Don't really understand that. And honestly, I've heard a lot of bad reviews so far, or like people just saying like it's mediocre, like nothing special. So kind of scared for that, but I'm still like excited enough to want to make myself read it, because I feel like if they were really that bad, I would probably just like donated this and got rid of it. But I'm still pretty like intrigued to find out what happens. So there's that one. So this next book is called The Last Flight by Julie Clark. And so what I've gotten from this is that I think it's about two women, and they're about to get on their flights or whatever. But then at the last minute, they both just like, based on their lives, like they're like, she's like, I hate my life. She's like, oh, I hate my life. And she's like, whatever. So they just like switch plane tickets. And so one of the women ended up getting her new ticket is now to go to Puerto Rico. But then when she gets on her plane to go to Puerto Rico, she ends up dying because the plane crashes. So the girl now, she like is scared because she's like, I just gave her that ticket to get on that plane. And like they were like switching identities, I think. So I think this new woman, after she finds out that this other woman just died, like pretending to take her identity, she ends up having to take this woman's identity that is dead, because now everyone thinks that she was dead on that plane. I hope I just explained that right, because I just sounded so confusing. But yeah, it just sounds really interesting, like, and crazy, because like literally like they were just trying to change up their lives, switch it up a little bit, and she just dies. So then she ends up having to take someone else's identity. So I don't know, that just sounds really interesting to me. I haven't heard much about this though, so I'm like, wondering what that means. But yeah, another book I'm very excited for. Like I have no other vocabulary. I'm just excited for all of these. Next we have Lovely War by Julia Barry. To be honest, another book that I really don't know what it's about, but it just gives me fall vibes. I don't know why. I know it's about like the Greek gods, I think. I don't know. Like Aphrodite or something. I'm probably so wrong, but that's what I think I've heard it's about. It's somewhat like historical fiction because it's in World War I and II, I think. And it goes through like different people's lives and cute romances, I heard. So I'm down for that. So the next book I have on this list is one I don't have yet, but I'm waiting for it to come in. It's called A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. I don't know, I remember hearing someone's review and I was like, that sounds good. But now that I'm like thinking about it, I'm like, what is it even about? I'm pretty sure it's like about this main girl, and she's at this school that like they need to like survive in or something. Like they all might die or something, like they're all constantly almost being killed, and so if you survive, like you basically pass the school. I could be completely wrong, but I just know there's like school. When I just think of people in school, I just think of fall. And then there's also the aspect that I think they're like witches and like there's magic and everything, so I'm like that just, all of that combines together to me to make fall. So yeah, no other explanation for that. Like literally I just think of that book and I'm like, fall. Don't know what it's about, but fall. And lastly on this list, it is one of my most anticipated reads of the year, which is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. Yeah, it just comes out in the fall. It looks fall. Like I just think of the book and I think fall. Like that's basically the gist for all of these books. Literally, I just thought, oh, that looks like fall to me, and I just went through all my shelves, or one bookshelf, and I was like, which books scream fall to me, and I just grabbed them, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna read that. Hopefully in the next 2 months. But this book is by Addie LaRue, if you don't already know, which I feel like everyone does, but this is about Addie LaRue, and she makes a deal with the devil to like stay alive, I think, for like forever, but everyone who meets her forgets her until this one guy just suddenly remembers her. And so I think it goes from there. I'm very scared for this because the few people who have reviewed it so far, it comes out tomorrow. I'm filming this on the 5th, I think. So I think tomorrow it comes out. The people who have had ARCs and like have read it so far seem to think it's not that good. Or a lot of them like thought it was going to be a romance between her and the devil, and I personally never got that from it. So I don't know. Maybe that'll make it better for me because a lot of them had that expectation and they did not like it at all. So we shall see how that goes for me. But yeah, those are all the books I'm hoping to read in October and November. So basically just my TBRs for both of those months. I'm sure I'll add some books. I don't know if I will though, because it's a long list of books and I have been in a reading slump for I don't know how long, but I've already read one book so far and I'm halfway through another book and it's only the 5th of the month. And that's pretty big for me compared to the rest of this year, which has been like dumpster fire for my reading life. But yeah, I just feel like super pumped up. The slump is like gone. I'm super excited to read all of these books. So Yes. Okay. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed my little TBR. And I hope you got some ideas for maybe what you want to read for the fall. Like this video, subscribe, comment down below this emoji. And to let me know, you just you watch pretty much the whole video. That will make me very happy to know. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and bye.